Hi everyone, this is Jane here. I'm just here to show you a little quick hack that I've kind of sort of discovered, sort of made up. I'm not quite sure whether I've seen something similar done somewhere else and I've just added to it or whatever, but it just feels to me like this was a bit of a discovery for me anyway. So I'm currently making a couple of these. They're really tiny, weeny little waterfall baby Halloweeny gothic-y journals. They're just made with papers and some cardstock as an outside, and then I've covered it with lace. I made this spine just by folding the card, so it's not like reinforced or anything, but this is very light, doesn't need it. But it's quite difficult with the binding, with things being on like something dark, and I just found the last one that I did quite difficult. So what I've done is I'm making two of these. So I've got my insides already, and this is my cover. So the first thing I did to make it easy was to pop in a, let me just grab another, what they called, a paper clip. To just hold this in place for a second. Okay, so to make it easy so that I can actually see where my, this is, I've folded it here so that you can see the spine. And then I can just put the holes down the centre and use this as a bit of a template. So the first thing I did was to pop in my 3 holes in the centre of the spine. That's that one. And that is my last one. Now, because I sometimes have a problem getting things lined up, but because we've got like the 2 lines here, you can kind of eyeball it really and make sure that you are in line more or less. So now I've got a template. I've got this. So now it's my colour. And then what I did was I popped this into the centre of the book so that I could actually see where I'm going to put the holes. Because what I would normally do is we would just line it up and mark it. Because I've got a black centre, that's really difficult to do because I can't see properly what we're doing. So I'm just going to fold this, give this a good fold like that. Open it up. And then just pop this template back so that the actual holes are on the fold. So I'm just going to pop that down so that it's level. We want the top level now. The bottom, the inside is not quite as tall as the outside. So you can either put the top level and do the holes there, or you can try and sort of get it up a little bit so that you are having an even gap between the top and the bottom, because this is the size of the outside, so you want the evenness so that it's in the middle. Okay, so if that makes sense. So I'll just pop that there and pop that on there like that so that it's held in place. Now what I would normally do is, if this was not black, is I would mark the holes up through the holes so that could keep the template and it would be clearly visible. But because we've got something that isn't like that, it isn't visible, I'm just going to make the holes through the holes. So I'm just lining it up. So that's 1. And that's 2. And that is 3. So they should be on the fold. Let's have a look and see what we've got. So there we are with our holes made on the fold. Now we've got our cover. And what I did, let me just, what have I done with those? Right, I'm just going to pin those back together again so they don't all shuffle about, like that. So then I took my needle and my thread. Do 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Get my needle out. Okay. Do my needle. So this is a book binding needle, so it is got quite a big eye. You could use a darning needle with a massive eye, that would be even easier. So anyway, that's what we will do. So we start with the middle hole, and then we can pop that into there, like that. We come back in through this hole. Now they should all be lined up really easily and on the fold as well. This hole, putting a template on, marking through the holes, has really helped me out, because I was kind of just eyeballing it before, and quite often I would get a bit of a wonky line of holes just because I wasn't really looking at it properly, I guess. So that's just make sure when you come through this hole that you don't go through the thread. And then you want to go through this middle hole, making sure again that you don't go, I've come out, that you don't go through the thread itself. Just want to go through the hole and not the string. That's it. So not through the thread. We've got that out of the way, and there we are. So I'm going to put the needle away straight away. I'm always a bit paranoid about that because of the cat. It's exactly the sort of thing that he would enjoy playing with, but it wouldn't be good for him. So we need to make sure that our strings are either side of the bridge, as always. We can get it about even, and we can just tie that off. Like that. So just by using that little template, it's made that, for me anyway, it's made that a lot easier. Hopefully it'll help you too. But this is like a little waterfall journal. It's now ended up that the top and the bottom are very even. The actual, the holes are in the middle of the spine. They're on a straight line. That's made a difference for me to how the finished journal will look. Inside I've got the whole waterfall design going on, just needs to be decorated now, and it will all be covered in lace as well, and that will cover up the spine. You don't have to do that, you don't need to do that. What I would say is where I've folded the spine to make it really hard, a hard fold, like a crisp fold, it's broken up the edge a little bit. So if I was going to leave it, I'd probably ink that edge or just cover it in a bit of lace or something. But I'm going to cover the whole thing in a bit of lace so that it's like this. A really useful hack that I also found with putting lace onto the cardboard is where I did my last journal, I found that if I used Fabri-Tac, it kind of had little bits around it. So what I did was I just used this glue stick all over, and then I just used Fabri-Tac to seal the insides, like the actual edge. So down that edge and down this edge. So yeah, that was a useful hack because that worked quite well. It's quite solid. It's not peeling off. It's not a problem there. So definitely Fabri-Tac for the edges and Scotch Create glue stick for the outside. So that's my plan. I'll be putting the lace on this one and then I'll be decorating those. So hopefully that's helped. I just thought it was a useful little handy hint that works and makes things a little bit easier when you're binding up your book. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you like that kind of thing. And I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.